Test. An all South American affair between boxers from Venezuela and Colombia. Jesus Cova, 23 years of age, approaching the boxing ring. The opponent, Jose Viafara, 26 years old. They're the 5 scoring judges from Tajikistan, Netherlands, the United States of America, Chinese Taipei, and Hungary, presiding over this one. Carlo Franchi of Italy is the referee. And the previous results for Viafara. Split decision victories on 2 occasions. A round of 64 and round of 32. Unanimous point decision win over William Tanko of Slovakia, followed by a 3-2 victory over the man from Thailand in the round of 32 for Cova Romero. So we're in the 63.5 kilogram division. This contest between boxers from Venezuela and Colombia. The southpaw wearing red, Jesus Cova, 23 years of age. A marauding figure out of that southpaw stance comes to the ring as the reigning continental champion of the Americas, having claimed gold at 63.5 kilograms in the homeland of his opponent in that tournament in Cali, Colombia last year. As for the man wearing blue, that is Colombia's Jose Manuel Viafara. Both of these boxers went to the multi-sport first continental qualifier in the Pan Am Games in Santiago with a quarter-final finish for the man in blue, but that below the Olympic quota securing requisite. It was a loss in the first preliminary round for the reigning Americas champion. So, has an injury been sustained here?
It's cut.
Yep. Let's keep an eye on the referee, see if we can see how the cut has been secured. I think it's from a clash of heads. Right there. Well, what is that? Is it a forearm head clash? The doctor happy for the contest to continue. Nice right hand on the disengagement from Cova. It's a physical encounter, this one. It's a beautiful left hand from Viafara, who's now switched to the southpaw stance. Good left hand to the body from Viafara. Generated terrific leverage on that shot, looking for the same punch once again. Trying to keep that injured eye out of harm's way. Cova, well, determined to get close, but there you see he's backed up by a stiff southpaw left. Remaining 40 seconds of this opening round. Well, the telegraphed overhand left from Viafara. And again, was caught by an overhand left on... The boxers so committed to their attacks that in the event that they don't land, they invariably end up falling into one another, escaping off the ropes before momentarily losing his footing. And there's an example. Cova really going in search of that southpaw left, but because it was inaccurate, left uppercut not too far away from Viafara. Plenty of clinching punctuating that opening round, a round in which this man sustained a cut after an accidental clash of heads during one of the frequent comings together. But it's Jesus Cova who's taken it on a 4-1 split didn't think there was that much between them, truth be told, because it was a very physical and often scrappy first 3 minutes.
Yeah, it really was. Cova was so keen and eager to get in there. He was sometimes smothering his work. Viafara did really well to try and keep his man at bay, try and keep him off guard. But it'll be interesting to see what happens in this second round.
Received confirmation that the cut endured by Viafara has been caused by a clash of heads. Here's a leaping right hook from the more compact southpaw. That posture, chest to chest, knee to knee, is where they spent an awful lot of the first round. So can Viafara, and who was a quarter-finalist at the World Championships last year in Tashkent in Uzbekistan, losing to the evergreen Hovhannes Bachkov at the quarter-final stage, and he get himself back into the contest, having conceded the first round on a 4-1 split. Now there's beautiful punch picking behind a jab and left cross out of that southpaw stance. Mention the fact that Cova is the current America's Continental Champion at 63.5 kilograms. That's a title that Jose Viafara held the year before when the tournament was held in Ecuador. Coming out in top spot on the podium, so two experienced international boxers, each in pursuit of their first Olympic quota place.
It's better from Fury there, just using the jab, trying to get his man to give him a little bit more respect. Cova's got the right tactics. He's not letting his man settle. He's not letting him find his rhythm. He's coming forward, trying to slip inside those rows. That was better from Fury there. Trying to keep his shots long.
Getting on the inside and burrowing away to the body of his taller opponent is Cova. Beyond the halfway stage of this second round, and again, when the initial jab was short, ending up in a bit of a tangle. The accuracy, not what either man is looking for it to be. There he was accurate with a southpaw right and sharp left cross via Viafara. Cova fairly tackles him around the waist. Look at that for a move. Squatting, roots to grass, in a bid to try and break free of the clinch employed by Viafara. That jab not too far away to begin that combination from Viafara. Trying to use the space of the ring now, up on his toes and trying to lure Cova into his wheelhouse. Swinging away with a left uppercut, but he did get through with a follow-up right hand.
Oh!
Now that's a rabbit punch for my money. That's a rabbit punch, and that is why Viafara simply cannot believe it. That was a forearm smash that seemed to catch Viafara around the rear of the head. That illegal. And I don't doubt that the blow sent him down to the canvas, but you simply can't hit a guy in the back of the head around the neck. And you see, that's why he's been issued a warning. So, the 8 count, as we've said, the knockdown shot counted, but because it was a blatantly illegal blow, that point deducted from the scorecard of Jesus Cova. And that is officiating by the textbook from the Italian referee. Because you simply can't forearm smash your opponent like that and expect to receive reward for it. So the count was carried out, and then once the count was completed, then the infringement was penalized in the form of a point deduction. So whatever Cova has accrued in that round will be subject to -1, and look at what it's done to the scorecards. Viafara leading 19 points to 18 for 3 of the 5 judges. 19 points to 18 the other way for Jesus Cova, and that infringement has really damaged his prospects here, because he is trailing on the scorecards of 3 of the 5 scoring judges. So Viafara in the third and final round just got to convince the judges who have him ahead 19-18. Here's the forearm smash. In a bid to overturn this, Cova needs a massive final round to turn it decisively in his favor, or indeed take it to countback.
I think in Cova's rush to try and score, try and win the fight, he's smothering his work.
And that looks as though it's a final talking to in the direction of Viafara for his claiming around the rear of the head. It's an untidy contest, this one, between boxers from the neighboring nations of Venezuela and Colombia in South America. Again, lots of misses being traded, and perhaps because it is something of a national derby, because they share that border in the north of the continent of South America, maybe the intensity and the emotion has just caused the quality to dissipate, and that happens so often in international sport. You're so keen to get one over your crosstown rival, your neighbor, that sometimes the quality and the strategy can often go out of the window. That could well have occurred here. There's a nice check right hand from Cova, who celebrates it by going walkabout. But remember, he's trailing 19 points to 18 for 3 of the 5 judges. He leads by the same margin for the remaining 2 judges.
Yeah, Cova really can't afford to be going walkabouts and celebrating. He needs to be working. You just never know which way the score's going to go.
And if we end up going to countback with tied scores, well, then the judges will express a preference as to who they think, who they perceive has been the better boxer. Viafara stealing a glance to his corner. What semaphore will he pick up in the form of instruction? He lets his hands go in rapid-fire fashion to the body. Cova reciprocates in that regard, but they've spent an awful lot of time in this type of posture, and again, perhaps the emotion of the neighboring nation rivalry resulting in this untidy tango we've been seeing more often than not up in the ring. Good bolo left hand to the body from Viafara, looking for the same shot once again. Cova raising his arms contemptuously. There's a forearm smash in rabbit punch fashion from Viafara. Forearms going in, elbows following through. And the referee having his hands full, remaining in charge of this one.
Oh.
It's another takedown.
Turned into wrestling.
So the styles not gelling in a particularly aesthetically pleasing fashion. Can't doubt the competitive spirit of either boxer is on the resumption. They both look to land at mid-range. Viafara hasn't been able to make his attributes of longer range and reach tell. Cova has looked to maraud his way onto the inside. Each man has had, and there's another forearm smash after Viafara. His momentum carried him forwards. What an untidy contest. Now Viafara thinks that he's done enough, so too does Cova. This is going to be really interesting on the scorecard. And again, the point-scoring punches were at something of a premium, few and far between during the course of that contest. Cannot fault the competitive spirit or the desire of both of these men, who have each been crowned as continental champions of the Americas. That's from Canada in the north all the way down to Chile in the south. Here's the verdict. It could well be split. We may well be going to countback. Which way is this one going to go? I happen to think the man in blue has done enough, but what say the judges? Both boxers are confident. Again, when it takes so long to announce, going to take some working out by the judges. That will have to be handed over to the public address announcer. We could well find ourselves in the realm of countback here. Here's the verdict. And it's gone Cova's way. Jesus Cova, the reigning America's Continental Champion, prevailing on a 4-1 split over the man from Colombia. A really incident-filled, untidy encounter. But it is Jesus Cova who has eliminated the 2022 America's Continental Champion, and it's the reigning Continental King of the Americas who progresses through to the quarterfinal stage, and he is now 1 win away from earning a precious Olympic quota. And again, the desire and determination of both of these boxers cannot be faulted, but celebrations abound in that red corner because their man got over the line on a 4-1 split decision after a really physical, incident-filled affair.
Yeah, it really was. Really messy fight. Very hard to score. I feel it could have gone either way after the points were deducted. But Cova did well to get through it. Here's the scores.
So look at that. 3 tied scores of 28 points apiece, and so those judges would have had to state their preference. And you see the second round is where the point deduction occurred, or the infringement occurred that resulted in a point deduction. And that is how the man from Venezuela has prevailed. Those 3 tied scores, all 3 of those who had it at 28-28 must have voted in favor of Cova, adding to the 29-27 tally that he took for judge number 1, and that is how he prevailed.